Attendees still on hold. Press *1, sorry.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good morning, and welcome to August. We have got 8:59 here on the West Coast. We're going to give it another minute or so and let the rest of the folks join in from around the country. Appreciate everybody jumping on the call, and we will get started momentarily. We'll be right back. Hang tight. Thank you. All right, and we are ready and off and running. Thank you all for joining RapidScale's monthly webinar series. Today we've got a good one for you, how to win against the big boys. So we are super excited about this particular presentation today for everybody. And you have Mark Sotkowski. I'm the president of RapidScale and happy to be speaking with you all today. And I have Miss Summer Fagone, our content marketing manager, on the call with me today, and Summer will be fielding questions and comments through our dashboard. So if you have anything coming, please feel free to send that over to Summer. And I will make sure we stop throughout the presentation today and touch base and check in and make sure we're running on all cylinders for you guys. As always, a couple of housekeeping notes for you. This webinar is being recorded. And at the end of the recording, we will go ahead and post it onto the partner portal, and it will be available for everybody. And then everyone who registered for the webinar today, you'll actually get an email copy of the deck sent to you. So excited about having you all on, and let's just get off and running with RapidScale against the competition. So as you all know, there are several very large players in our space. And what we decided to put the webinar on with the intent today was talking about how we win when we go against the mighty large companies out there. And, you know, the big differentiation between ourselves and the Microsofts and Amazons and Rackspaces of the world. And guys, we win quite a bit when we are put head-to-head with these guys. And we have some interesting statistics to share with you today. We also wanted to share with you how we win in these engagements. And one of the first things that I'll say to you is more and more customers are going to the cloud. And I think everybody on the call understands that today. That's why you joined our webinar series. We see more and more customers heading to the cloud on a daily basis. And when we started this business back in 2008, and when I came on board in 2011, you know, it was a challenge for us to even get customers to look at moving their workloads and the productions to the cloud. And certainly the market space has changed considerably. And now I think it's the default for most of your mid-market size customers. And mid-market in our world, guys, is 50 to 2,000 employees. That's a mid-market with us. SMB we consider 50 and down, and enterprise starts at 2,500 and up. But the mid-market is consuming a lot of cloud, and why not be there with them? Why not be a trusted advisor to those customers and help them make those decisions to go to the cloud? So let's talk first off as partnerships go. You know, you all are partners with RapidScale, and we appreciate your partnership. Thank you for being sales partners of ours, and we're excited to win with you. And there are those of you out there who are partners with Microsoft, and of course we understand that and we respect that. We're a big Microsoft shop ourselves, as most of you know. We sell their Office product suite as well as their hosted Exchange platform, and of course we buy a heck of a lot of Microsoft OS licensing from them as well. So we certainly would consider ourselves friendly competitors with Microsoft Azure. And by far and away, Microsoft is one of the biggest players in the game. And they've come on extremely strong in the last 24 to 36 months. And they've really come after the channel as well. So literally, 2 years ago, we weren't talking about Azure as a competitor on these webinars. because they really weren't. They weren't in the channel with us. They weren't part of our environment. You know, we competed with them when the customers were making the decisions, but as far as sales partners positioning them, that wasn't happening, and now we know that they're going to be doing that. So the first thing we look at Microsoft is, you know, they're extremely strong. Their platform is obviously global, and they've got their fair share of challenges when it comes to leading the pace with SLAs, right? So their service level agreements are not the same as ours. They're less, 99.99%. And they logged 11 hours of downtime in 2015, guys. That's a lot of downtime when you're looking at being a production provider to your customers. And of course, that's not a global downtime. That's downtime throughout different data centers that they had all over the globe. But the reality is, you know, here at RapidScale, I'm knocking on a little bit of wood. We provide a 100% uptime SLA for our customers, and we had not nearly as much downtime in 2015. As a matter of fact, we had no major outages in 2015 in any of our data centers, and we had no connectivity challenges in 2015 either. So we continue to, you know, provide that uptime SLA for you as a partner to sell our services into your customers. And of course, you know, it goes without saying, but we're all here for the same reason. You know, nobody is selling cloud services or managed services without the idea of, you know, it's a business. We're all here to make money, and we need to be profitable. And we still today pay some of the best sales commissions available in the channel to our sales partners. So not only can we compete with Microsoft on a basis of SLA and a basis of delivering services, you know, throughout the U.S. and now internationally, as they do as well. But we believe we're extremely competitive when we talk about how you earn your money. So when you're looking at bringing in a provider to handle that workload, we hope, you know, obviously you're looking for your customer's best interest. We all are. But we think that we stack up very well against them. And at the end of the day, we believe that RapidScale is a strong competitor to the Microsoft Azure platform. One of the big things to remember about Microsoft is that we won't use the bad M word, right? They don't like to be called that M word, and they've paid a lot in the past for being there. But one of the interesting things we've seen Microsoft do is really, you know, historically they were really against competing technologies, Linux operating system being one of those. And we are very open to any operating system that your customers need. So when you start getting into the feeds and speeds, which is where we don't want to spend a lot of time when we're initially getting involved with the customer, we want to talk with them more about their business needs. But when we start to dive into those pieces of the puzzle, you know, we can position ourselves extremely well against Microsoft. So be aware of that when you engage us. And we are going to the next slide, hopefully. And we are going to, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about the stack and how we compete with them on a product-to-product basis. With regards to desktop as a service, Azure does not have a desktop as a service offering today. And RapidScale, of course, we do. It's one of our core competencies. We know that they are working on something with Citrix. They're going to be rolling a product set out there, but again, when we really look at what's the product life today, how does it work, remember, Microsoft Azure is a self-service platform. It's important to understand that when you're talking with your clients, right? Azure really caters to the enterprise space. They cater to companies that have large IT staffs and can really go in there and work and manage those workloads themselves on top of the Azure platform. We both offer hosted exchange, obviously. Microsoft has Office 365. RapidScale, we do a hosted exchange platform that's priced very competitively to Office 365. And again, our big differentiation there is going to be our SLAs. We provide that 100% uptime SLA, and that is a big, big issue for your customers when it comes to email. Email is one of the most important workloads available with regards to businesses. If you go in and you ask any CFO or CEO of an organization, what's your most important application? They are going to tell you it's email. Now, you ask the IT department, they'll start telling you different things. But email is what businesses run on today, and I think we're all aware of that. Excuse me. Infrastructure as a service. Certainly all of us are offering this today, and we are very, very well positioned against Microsoft to offer this. One of the big things that people fear when they're dealing with Microsoft is you don't know where your data is going to reside, right? That's a big piece, guys. Knowing that Microsoft is going to put the data wherever they choose to put the data is important when you're talking to your customers. This is really important when we're talking to customers who have compliancy requirements, right, where they need to know where that data is stored. So, again, we like to dive in deep on the opportunities that you bring us. And these are just a couple of the ways that we compete extremely well against Microsoft Azure. Disaster recovery as a service, both of our organizations offer this. It's an interesting side note that I'll share with everybody today. We have several customers who are running production inside of Azure, and they're utilizing RapidScale for the disaster recovery and business continuity solution. It's a popular way to do work. So again, when you're talking with your clients, remember, it's about how are we leveraging technology to enhance their profitability and improve their efficiencies. And one of the things around disaster recovery, and a lot of disaster recovery experts will tell you this, if you're running your primary production in one cloud company, you may want to run your DR in a separate cloud company just to ensure your uptime. I'm going to ask you guys to hold on one second while I clear my throat. Can you hear that? Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm back. And so let's talk about the service feature sets that are going on with regards to Microsoft. Management. Guys, this is the biggest differentiation we have with regards to ourselves and the Azure platform. Customers are responsible for the management on their side when they're on the Azure platform. You obviously with RapidScale, our big differentiation is we can provide full management to the customer. So we have clients who just want us to manage the underlying infrastructure. We have clients who say to us, hey, we'd rather you go higher up the stack and manage more of this for us. We have clients who say to us, we want you to manage everything to the end users. So a lot of flexibility on the RapidScale side when we're talking about being competitive against Azure and their platform. Support varies with the plan that you're going to buy from Microsoft and the service level, and it's not guaranteed to be US-based support. With RapidScale, we're all 24/7 by 365 US-based support, so we are here and available to work with you when it comes to finding the right fit for your customer base. Deployment, public cloud focus, we're private, public, and hybrid cloud, so we have a lot of flexibility based on what your customers need. And their uptime, as I mentioned, 99.9%, and at RapidScale, we are striving to that 100% uptime SLA. And those of you who have sold our services in the past know that that SLA has strict financial impact to us if we don't meet it. So being that we are not the size of Azure, and obviously maybe not as well known outside of the channel, we really put our money where our mouth is in guaranteeing uptime for our customers. Performance. When you're running inside of the Azure platform, you're running workloads there, it can be incredibly difficult to troubleshoot performance issues. We hear this all the time. As a matter of fact, we've got several opportunities we're working on with partners like yourselves all over the country where they're migrating from Azure to RapidScale, and one of the biggest challenges and reasons why they're migrating is that they are looking to get a better understanding and better support when it comes to fixing problems that exist within the underlying infrastructure. So, as I mentioned, we are friendly competitors with Microsoft Azure. We like them. They like us. And we think we've got a very, very competitive offering to put in front of those folks. and work with them and your customers. So, and don't forget, whenever you're looking at doing infrastructure as a service and workloads, one of the key things that you really want to focus on when you start with those customers is what is their overall objective, right? What is their long-term plan? What's their vision? If you understand that when you're working with the C-suite at customers, you're going to position yourself extremely well to help them put those workloads into multiple cloud companies or one cloud company. And trust me, guys, it's all going that way, as you all know. So let's talk a little bit about RapidScale and Amazon. I'm going to stop real quick and ask Summer. Ms. Summer, did we have any questions come in? I have not seen any, but I wanted to check with you.
Nope, we're good.
We're good. All right, on to Amazon, guys. Anybody raise your hands if you know who Amazon is? Okay, joking, right? We're on a webinar. I can't see your hands, but I know all the hands went up out there. Amazon, also known as AWS, Amazon Web Services. The next couple of pieces here are going to be amazing to you guys. Amazon has 70% of the marketplace today. That is ridiculous. Gartner just released that information last quarter. Holy moly. That scares some people. Here at RapidScale, we look at that as just so much opportunity for our sales partners and to jump in there and really get after earning some of that business away from Amazon. And obviously, they can't hold on to that. That's part of the reason why you've seen such a big push from Azure in the last 24 to 36 months, right? That's a huge amount of market share that is certainly available to be taken by competitors like ourselves. So I think everybody knows Amazon. Let's talk some highlights on who they are. They serve everybody, guys. You know what I mean? They will serve any size client. The most important thing to remember about Amazon is it's a do-it-yourself model. And the second most important thing for everybody on this call to remember about Amazon, they don't program. So it's very difficult to earn any type of commissions or earnings off of selling Amazon Web Services. They truly are focused on selling to the end user customer in a do-it-yourself model, and they're very good at it. They have 70% of the market. That being said, we have a lot of MSPs who are our partners, managed service providers. There's some of you on the call today who have created a business out of moving customer workloads to Amazon and then managing those workloads while they're on the Amazon platform and obviously charging their customers for that management on a monthly service. As a matter of fact, you have seen several large companies start to offer management of Amazon, right? They see the shortcoming from Amazon, that Amazon is a fully do-it-yourself model. And there's very little offering when it comes to any type of management and any type of really integrated drive-down support. Even Rackspace is now managing workloads on the Amazon platform, which is kind of interesting. We'll talk about Rackspace in a few minutes. Very high-profile outages in 15. They had 56 outages. I'm certainly not an engineer. I play one on TV occasionally. But, you know, when you're the size of Amazon, it's certainly going to be, you're going to be more prone to have more outages, guys. And a lot of you who've been on sales calls, you've heard me, one of our big positioning statements to a customer when we're going head-to-head with Amazon, and if I've been on the calls with you, you've heard me say this to customers, you know, do you want to be a koi in a koi pond, or do you want to be a minnow in the ocean, right? And when you're on the Amazon platform, unless you're billing, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, you are certainly not in their purview as far as being a big customer. You're one of, you know, tens of thousands of customers that they have. One other piece that's real important to remember when we start talking about how we perform head-to-head with Amazon is the Amazon infrastructure is a commodities-based infrastructure. And what I mean by that is because of their sheer size and scope, Amazon has multiple OEMs, original equipment manufacturer providers, inside of their infrastructure. They've got Dell, HP, Cisco, right? They've got all different kinds of providers selling them servers, and it really comes down to best price wins when Amazon is buying. And if you can imagine buying at Amazon's size and scope, they create quite a discount when they start to buy those services. So, of course, Hewlett-Packard, Dell, and everybody else would love to sell them. Sorry, guys. Seems to be a little construction going on in the room next to me. So I'm going to step outside of my office, and I'm going to do a little bit of the presentation from out here for you. Yeah. With regards to how we stack up with Amazon, so services-wise, no hosted exchange on the Amazon platform, as we had talked about. Amazon does not have a full desktop as a service solution. They do have Amazon Workspaces, which is really similar to like a Google Docs, right? So it allows you to go on and edit and change and make changes to documents inside of their platform, but it's not delivering that full application suite that is a virtual desktop platform. So when we run into Amazon, again, you're thinking do it yourself, you're thinking serve all sizes of customers, and they don't have the expertise to really handle a desktop as a service solution set as we do. So that being said, we are very well positioned when we go head-to-head with them for a more managed environment with regards to what your customers are looking for. Disaster recovery, obviously they have a lot of disaster recovery running inside of their platform. Again, we have customers who run production in Amazon and they use us for DR. We have customers who run production inside of RapidScale and they do their DR over to Amazon. So what you're going to see changing over the next 18 to 36 months is you're going to see more and more workloads. And when we say workloads, ladies and gentlemen, what we're really speaking to is application loads, right? So email, hosted exchange is a workload, certainly. Your ERP system is a workload. Your DR is a workload. Your storage is a workload, right? And as more and more people move more and more services to the cloud and take advantages of the economies of scale and the consumption of IT, you're going to see people start to break up their workloads and put them in different places based on performance, based on geographical diversity. So there's a great amount of opportunity out there for you. If you come across a customer and they say, we're not really interested, we're running everything on Amazon, I'm telling you that you've got opportunity in there, guys. Get on the phone with one of your channel managers. Get on the phone with me. Get on the phone with one of your sales engineers here from RapidScale. We love when customers tell us we're running everything here, and I promise you, if you can tee up a discovery call for us, we can find opportunity within that customer for you and talk to them about moving certain workloads outside of Amazon and onto RapidScale for several of the reasons we've discussed today. Management, as I said earlier, do-it-yourself mentality 100% with Amazon. Good luck in trying to troubleshoot any type of issue when it comes to performance in the Amazon platform. It's very hard to do. As our Director of Solution Engineering, Dwayne Barnes, said to myself and Summer yesterday, you can't pick up the phone and call over to Amazon and say, I need to talk to a database manager. It just doesn't work that way. You can here at RapidScale. So remember, a big piece of what we bring to that puzzle is that support level, 24/7, 365, and the ability to fully manage that platform for the customer or manage the pieces of it that they don't want to do themselves. And I'm going to give you guys an example of this because it's something that is a great way for you when you're selling a customer on services. You'll see the majority of our quotes, unless we were told specifically by you, our sales partners, not to include it, we'll always include management and monitoring of the underlying server infrastructure. That's always going to be included inside of a quote from RapidScale. And the reason being, it's a really easy decision for your customer to make. We don't charge a ton of money to do it. We have some flexibility. Typically, it's going to be $100 per server instance. If they have 30, 40 instances, obviously we'll do some ICB pricing for you and drive that cost down a little bit. But when you're looking at our typical customer has 12 to 15, 18 servers running. Let's just use 10 for easy math. They have 10 servers running, for $1,000 a month. My team here at RapidScale will do all the management, monitoring, patching, upgrading, updating. They'll do all of that for that customer. That size of an organization, that's generally going to be one of the IT persons, probably 25, 30% of their ongoing work is to do that kind of work within that infrastructure. We typically call that level 2 infrastructure engineering. But when you look at $1,000 a month times 12 months is $12,000, and you look at your typical IT level 2 engineer, they're making $100,000 to $140,000 a year, depending where you are geographically. It makes all the sense in the world to take that mundane workload off of that very well-educated, probably very, very strong employee, and put it onto a company that this is what we do every day, right? It's the idea of outsourcing. If you can get it at a better price with better service and better reliability, why wouldn't you do it? Everybody is doing it. So that's something that we really push when we're going head-to-head with Amazon. And again, sometimes when we're going head-to-head with Amazon, we understand the customer's number one buying criteria is price. And if it's price is the number one buying criteria, guys, and they want to manage it themselves, we'll strip that out. We don't have to include it. So from an Amazon standpoint, think about it this way. Biggest, baddest bully on the block, 70% market share. There's a ton of opportunity in there for you to go after those customers and start working with them to look at that Amazon environment and say, how well are you managing it? Now, something else I want to throw a curveball at you guys. We're not talking about it today, but I'm going to toss it in there because it just popped into my head. Remember, RapidScale has a product called Cloud Discovery, okay? Our Cloud Discovery product allows us to go inside of a customer's environment and identify everything they have running that has an IP address assigned to it inside of that environment. We've had sales partners engage us and bring us into Amazon customers where the IT manager, director, VP, CIO, CTO had no idea what they had running inside of the Amazon network, right? These are very large customers, very, very vast networks. And they said, look, our Amazon spend has just gotten out of control. So for my telco partners on the call today, this goes back to, auditing telco services and bills. How many times have you found a customer is paying rates that were ridiculous or paying for services they thought they had shut down years ago? This is starting to become an occurrence within the infrastructure as a service world. And Amazon, being the lion of the jungle, there's a lot of opportunity there. So again, if you come into that big Amazon customer who says, we're good, everything's great, engage your channel managers from RapidScale, engage your sales engineers. Let's get on a call and show you how we can create opportunity out of what seems to be nothing, right? So these are the guys we love. We like Rackspace because a lot of people confuse RapidScale and Rackspace. It gets us into a lot of customer meetings with big enterprise customers because they think when our sales partner said RapidScale, they said Rackspace, and they go, wow, you're going to bring a Rackspace guy out here to see me? Fantastic. I'll take the meeting, and then we show up. So there's no bait and switch. It was just, the names are very similar. And Rackspace and ourselves are pretty similar when it comes to, management and support. So they line up most with us when it comes to management and support. But, and to be fair, guys, these are the folks that we run into the most inside of the channel. As you all know, Rackspace has made a huge push into the channel in the last 12 to 18 months. We've been on panels with them, again, only competitors. One thing we all agree with when we go to shows and you see us hanging out all together, there is so much business available to the channel. You all have the relationships. You're trusted advisors to a lot of these customers. There's so much business out there for all of us that everybody can win and everybody can be successful. We often sit and chat, my friends of mine from United and other companies, where we say, look, all we really want to see, we all want to win, of course. We want you guys to win, of course. But we just don't want to see the customer do the same old thing and buy the gear themselves again and, make a capital expenditure and depreciate it over 5 years. That's when none of us win, including most of our partners don't win there unless you're a VAR or an MSP who's selling that gear. Those margins have gotten very thin if you talk to folks inside of that space. It's all really about the service that you tie in with it when you're selling to those customers. So one of the big things that we compete well against Rackspace is the desktop as a service offering, right? They don't have that, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. The sales cycle, they're a very, very large company, guys. They're a $1 billion plus a year company, and their sales cycle is much longer. So, their sales guys are not creating the quotes like our channel managers are here at RapidScale. We're extremely nimble when we go head-to-head with Rackspace, right? And again, being that we're very agile, and there are a lot of you on the call who probably know Andrew Lauder. He's our senior channel manager out of the Southeast. Andrew likes to describe us as a chameleon, right? We can work in any way, shape, or form that your customer needs us to work in when it comes to their IT experience. So we have a lot of flexibility, guys. We will go outside of the box if it makes sense to earn that customer's business. Now, we won't go absolutely crazy and do something we don't know how to do, but we will push the limits on going outside of the box to maybe create a hybrid solution for your customer and bring that customer's SAN, say, that they just bought a year ago into one of our data centers and colo it, and then sell them the cloud services and tie it back into their SAN, right? That's something that we'll do that our competition won't for most cases, right? Rackspace will sell you a SAN, or they'll let you move it onto one of their physical SANs, but I don't believe that they'll allow you to colo it. They may. But again, this is something we do on a regular basis when it makes sense for ourselves and for our customer. They're certainly one of the most aggressive in the channel, so I know a lot of you have seen them and worked with them. And again, when we are going head-to-head competitively wise, these are who we seem to be running into the most often. So how does RapidScale win against Rackspace when you have two companies that certainly put a lot of emphasis on our management and our support? Well, the first thing is taking and selling the right service set to that customer. They don't have a desktop as a service solution today. We do. And again, this is something that you're seeing more and more of your clients moving towards. If you're not seeing that today, jump on to the partner portal, guys. Check it out. If you don't have your credentials, just shoot an email back to the invite today, and Summer will have one of her staff get you credentials for the partner portal. We have a ton of information on our desktop as a service product out there. We have a couple of webinars that have been done in the past. Desktop as a service, in my opinion, is where we're going to see everything migrating over the next 36 months. Customers want it fast. They want it now. They want it real time, and they want it all. And they want to get it on their tablet, their smartphone, their laptop, their home PC, and soon to be the TV and the smart TV inside of their hotel room. Understand that this is a trend that we're going to see a lot more of in the future. And if you're not familiar with the desktop product set, jump on the phone with one of your channel managers, jump on the phone with me, let's get a sales engineer on the phone. We're happy to get you up to speed on that. Hosted Exchange, Rackspace has two email platforms. They do a hosted exchange, and then they do a very vanilla, low-cost email platform that's not hosted exchange. But you can't buy it as a standalone where you can here with us. So again, big differentiation. Where do we run into them? 100% infrastructure as a service. They are where we are competing all the time. Price-wise, we've beaten them on several deals where we've been in the know of the customer saying, hey, price is super important to us. Again, flexibility and agility from the RapidScale side of the house. Your channel managers have ability to get some discounting, but then they certainly come to me when it comes to a discount to win a business. If we can do it and we can maintain profitability, we certainly will look at doing that deal and earn that business with you. And if it's a really large deal and we have to get super aggressive, we'll talk to you about, sharing some of that with us, right? Can you give up a little bit of commission? Not a lot, just a small percentage for us to go in and win this business together. And we rarely do that, but when we have to get hyper aggressive, we'll come and we'll talk to you about it before we put the pricing in front of the customer. At the end of the day, we would rather win at a lower margin and earn business with you than lose and maintain a higher margin, right? 100% of zero is zero. So let's figure out a way to win the business together. They certainly don't have an SMB DOS bundle product, and they're really not focused on the SMB. Again, RapidScale, we are focused on all sizes of customers that make sense for you and for us. So we want to work with you on earning that business. And one of the things that we've seen happen in the last 12 months is you have a lot more smaller customers now moving things to the cloud, right? We have several opportunities out there where it's a customer who comes to us and says, look, I just want to move my file server and my email. That's all I really have, and I'm tired of it running I'm tired of it running here at my office. I have power outages. It's old. My service provider isn't coming by to check on it like he says he would. So I'm just ready to pick it up and put it into the cloud if you guys will manage it for me. And again, there's that management key, that's fundamental of what we do. So no deal isn't worth looking at. Let's put it that way. But then again, we're smart about this, guys. We know that there's competitive products out there like Dropbox that you can buy a terabyte of file data storage for $100 a year. That's incredibly inexpensive. It's a retail product, so if I were a business, I wouldn't be putting my needed storage information on it. But there are several small businesses that do. So we can help guide you through that. And again, if it's not a good fit for us, we're not going to shove a round peg through a square hole. We're not going to try to make that happen, guys. We're going to be honest and upfront with you and very transparent with your customer and say, here's what we can offer you. Here are the benefits and advantages of doing it. Let's take a look at doing this with you together and see if it's a good fit for you and a good fit for us. So some other pictures that we pulled some great information here from Cloud Harmony. Downtime in 2015. Here are your top publicly traded companies: the SoftLayer, Rackspace, Azure, AWS, and Google. That's the downtime that Cloud Harmony reported with them last year. And then the outages that were reported last year with Azure, AWS, and Google. Again, not to make this sound too one-sided, but these are very large these are very large global companies, right? And they're going to have a harder challenge in making sure everything is up and running all the time. Here at RapidScale, we've got 4 domestic data centers. We've got our international data center in Hong Kong, another build going on in the UK here coming up in Q4 of this year, and another build into Montreal, Canada coming up in Q4 of this year as well. The architecture that our CTO, those of you who've met him, William Hyatt, put together, it's very, very specific, guys. One of the big differentiations of us going against the Amazons of the world is, we run everything on a FlexPod architecture that is identical data center to data center inside of our environment. There are several reasons for that. One of the biggest reasons from a sales standpoint is performance, right? We can give guaranteed metrics to customers based on the architecture that our data center engineers built into our platforms, right? But from a support standpoint, from a service standpoint, and from an uptime standpoint, by having everything identical data center to data center and doing the replication that they do between those data centers, it allows us to really harness the power of the FlexPod architecture, which is built fully redundantly upon itself in each data center, to get that uptime and that guarantee to your customers. So remember, if you talk to your CTO and your CIOs of companies and ask them what keeps them up at night, I guarantee you they will tell you it's worrying about an outage, right? Not being able to get to the applications. That's a big concern for these guys. Those of you who've put me on sales calls with you in the past, you'll know that I have said one of the neatest things about working with RapidScale is if you're selling a customer into our solution set, it becomes a two-bag sale for you. You generally get another network sale out of it as well, meaning that they generally are going to increase their bandwidth at their primary location when they move over to us. And if they don't have a secondary DR bandwidth connection, that's one of the first things that we recommend they do when they move any part of their workloads onto RapidScale, right? If the internet goes down or the connectivity between us and them goes down, that means they can't work, and they understand that, and there's a trade-off for that. And some of you may be thinking right now, well, why wouldn't I just keep that equipment inside of my office, right, where I know that I don't have to worry about the internet going down? Most offices have outside people trying to come to them, so the internet is still important. But more importantly, if that gear is stored inside of a customer's office, that's a bad position right off the gate. You've got multiple points of failure on delivering services to your internal employees, to your internal customers. The power goes out in the building. Happens all the time, guys. And they may have a UPS, unlimited power supply, that runs an hour or two. Their building may even have a generator. But if that power is down for a couple of days, then they are really down hard for a couple of days. So connectivity plays a big piece in what we do here at the cloud, and we will certainly help you earn additional business from your customers. As you all know, we don't sell connectivity here at RapidScale. We know a lot of our channel sales partners do, and that's why we stayed out of that business. We want you to sell your core product sets to your customers. So RapidScale, big close here for us. What do we do, guys? We're really managed cloud. That's how we beat the big guys. That's how I beat Amazon, Azure, and Rackspace on a regular basis. And I'm going to be, again, very transparent to you. We lose against them too. We don't win them all, that's for sure. But if you engage us and you get us in front of your customers and get the RapidScale team out there, and the team consists of, your channel manager, your sales engineer, our account management team. That's a big differentiation for us, guys. You're going to hear a lot more about that in future webinars, and the more you follow RapidScale, the team approach to selling and supporting the customers is something we're putting front stage. We want your customer to know that they're going to be handled from the inception of the deal through the 5th, 7th, 10th year of being a customer of ours. And that has a lot to do with our account management team, and that's a huge differentiation between us and the Amazon's, Rackspaces, and AWS's of the world. One of the things that we really position and preach to our larger customers, so anybody who's billing $10,000 or more, we will set up a weekly trouble ticket call with them, a weekly management call with them, because we know that we are a big part of their IT infrastructure. So just like that CIO has meetings with his network engineers and his database programmers, if we're handling all of their production, we'll have a weekly meeting with them as well. Rackspace also offers this. It's called a technical account management, and the price starts at $2,500 a month. With RapidScale, this is something that we include for all of our customers billing over $10,000 a month. And by the way, guys, there are several customers who take advantage of it, and several customers who say, no, we're good. Just keep everything up and running, and we don't need to sit with you weekly. It really comes down to, what does your customer need? That white glove service is a big differentiation of what we can do for your customer base. From an infrastructure standpoint, all SAS 70, Type 2, SSA 16 data centers, Tier 3, Class 1 data centers, very, very expensive data centers to be in. We are not a brick-and-mortar data center company. It doesn't make sense for us. So we find the best-of-breed partners, just like we do in our infrastructure. We find the best-of-breed partners in our facilities, and we build out cages into their data centers where we have multiple utility connections for power, multiple clear battery backups that take that power and make it clean when they put it into the data centers. Everything in those data centers is redundant upon itself, so there are no single points of failure when it comes to power, connectivity, or environmentals, right? When it comes to AC and everything you need to keep those data centers cool. We've worked hard and long with those relationships, and we're very proud of them. They are up and running 24/7 by 365, and they are only second to government needs when it comes to if there was a major catastrophe, big hurricane or a big earthquake here in California. We have 7 generators that outside of the data center here in California that after the hospitals and medical centers and government get fuel, they're the next on the list. So we are always looking to make sure that we can keep your customers up and running and meet or exceed their expectations of moving their workloads to a managed cloud company. And I spent a lot of time on managed cloud. Remember, we have plenty of customers who just use this as a platform as well, right? They manage everything themselves, and they just want to run on our infrastructure based on performance metrics or based on geographic redundancies, et cetera. So lots of different ways to earn this business with you. So when we think about serving you and serving your customers, the best way to do this, guys, is get us engaged. Get us engaged with your customers. We've added some channel management support around the country. We now have Mr. Matt Coso, who joined our organization last month. Matt is heading up the Northeast for us. So if you don't know Matt and you're in the Northeast part of the company, send me an email or send Summer an email, and we'll get you connected up with Matt. Matt is, he's fully dove in and working on opportunities with sales partners right now. Andrew Lauder is running the East Coast for us still, those of you know Andrew. Mr. Paul Overstreet has our central region. We've got our new West Coast channel manager starting in September. Chris will be coming on board with us then, and we're going to continue to grow the channel manager footprint. We're also continuing to grow the sales engineering footprint. We brought Dwayne Barnes on to be our Director of Solution Engineering. Dwayne is hiring additional sales engineers all over our markets in the country. Engage us is the point, guys. Engage us with your customers. Let us help you win that business. That's what we're here for. There'll come a time in the next, couple of years when everybody on this call is an expert, and I've got to figure out new things to talk about on my weekly or my monthly webinars. But until you're an expert, we have the expertise for you. So take advantage of it. Come to us. Ask us any questions you have. We're happy to be there for you. We're happy to win and earn the business with you. With that, we're going to open it up to any questions that anybody may have in the audience. I'm looking for hands or questions to be typed in. And while we're doing that, just finishing up the housekeeping here for you. This presentation has been recorded. It will be on the partner portal within 24 hours. If you were part of our registered guests today, you'll be receiving an email with the slides associated to it. It doesn't look like we have any questions, so I'm going to close out with some positivity here in the month of August. We are setting a record quarter here, guys, at RapidScale, and we are looking to blow these numbers out in Q3. So bring us the opportunities, bring us the deals. We've got all kinds of special promos and spiffs that we can utilize to help you win. We have incentives for your customers this month to help you win. Get us engaged with them, and let's earn some business together, and let's have fun while we do it. RapidScale moved into California. We are over by the Orange County Airport. If you are in SoCal or visiting SoCal, I know you all might say, well, I'm never coming to SoCal. Oh, yeah, you are. If you're married and you have kids, you're coming to Disneyland at some point. Swing by, make it a business trip. Come on by, see our new offices, meet some of the engineering team, meet some of the support team, the marketing team. You can meet them as well. They're here with me. We'll show you the space. We'll take you to lunch. The data center is a block and a half away. Walk you over there and give you a tour as well. With that being said, really appreciate everybody joining the call today. Thank you so much for your time. We know you're busy. Have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful month of August, and engage those channel managers. Let's get some opportunities rolling with you. Thanks all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.